Take a second and listen to this. Just watch this.
Okay level. But they're never going to be Modric. They're never going to be Rodri. And in 2 years, they might not be anything because they might be done. That's my concern. It's very mid. It's a very mid recruitment in a midfield where at the start of the window, United themselves were quite happy to circulate Anderson being their priority, Tchouaméni being their dream, Tonali being a prospect, Matheus Fernandes being a prospect, Bruno Guimaraes being a prospect. To go from that to this, I think is massively underwhelming. And like I say, hopefully Santos will be a good signing. Hopefully Tielemans will be a good signing. And maybe Sanderberg would be a decent signing. But these are not players that are going to take Manchester United.
So, over the last 2 days, I've been hearing a lot of comparisons between Youri Tielemans and Bruno G, right? I'm never going to try and say last name because I always mess it up. But I've been hearing a lot of comparisons between them. And I'm at the point now where I'm having absolutely none of it. None of it. Everyone's making out like because Manchester United activated a £35 million clause to get Tielemans and Bruno's going to Arsenal for 75 million, as if there's even a conversation there to be had. Even some people who claim to support Manchester United are saying that Bruno G would have been an upgrade. That's a good signing. And saying that Tielemans is mid. Tielemans is mid. Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? Tielemans is mid. Yes, I'm a Tielemans fan, but the comparisons, some of them I understand, but with Bruno G, I'm having absolutely none of it. I'm having none of it. How can you even begin to conceivably compare the tantalizing, talismanic, technically and tactically astute Tielemans with that industry line hatchet man? Are you crazy? Like, I don't understand it. Look, if Arsenal want to get their pants completely pulled down and pay 75 mil for a mid-level hatchet man that you can find by the dozen for a massive bargain in League One, then fine, go ahead. No disrespect to the League One dons, by the way, right? But what I'm saying is what he offers and what he brings in comparison to Tielemans is nowhere near. So the comparison is actually winding me up because I'm a massive Tielemans fan. Bruno G just runs around in midfield like an absolute madman for Newcastle. How can you compare the two? I don't understand. Now, I don't believe this troglodyte is even a real Man United supporter, right? But let's go through the list that he has listed. Tonali, Matheus Fernandes, Elliot Anderson, Alex Scott, and Bruno G. Bruno G is the one that annoyed me because currently that's the Arsenal thing. And yeah, he's basically saying we should be going for Bruno G and why we signed Tielemans. If you actually understand football, you'll understand why we signed Tielemans. So if he doesn't pass your eye test, and he passes mine, because on eye test alone, for me, Tielemans is better than all of these ballers. I know not everyone's going to agree. But if he doesn't pass your eye test, let's dip into the stats. Like I said, I've admired him as a player for a very long time. And I think just based on the eye test of how he performs, I think he's better than all of these footballers, right? Not everybody is going to agree. But if you don't agree with the eye test and you think others look better, then let's have a decider. Let's go to the stats. Let's go to the stats. Let's look at some stats. I know I'm not a big stats guy, but when you decide one thing and I decide one thing, there has to be a decider. Let's do stats. What better way? They say the best indicator for what a man's going to do in the future is to look at what he has done in the past. Okay? Fair enough. They also say, based on what you've done as a baller, determines your value as a player. For instance, look at Rodri right now. The offers coming in for him aren't acceptable because he's now a World Cup winner. So that pushes the value up a little bit more. You see what I'm saying? That's it. You see what I'm trying to say? Your past and the things that you have won and how you have performed determine your value going forward. So let's look at some stats to see how all of these midfielders that everyone's saying is better than Tielemans, let's see how they stack up with stats. First one, Tielemans versus Matheus Fernandes. Now, we got Tielemans for £35 million. He's 29. Fernandes is 22, and he went for £85 million. Now, they play the same position, which is 6 and 8. Technically, Tielemans plays 6, 8, and 10. He can play either one. Okay? Well, let's look at the numbers. So, one's 29, one's 21. As you can see, Tielemans has played way more games, naturally, because he's older, right? Look at the goals in comparison. Look at the assists in comparison. Goal contributions, minutes played. Listen, it speaks for itself. And we're not even in all of these comparisons, we're not even going to include international, because then it just gets long for the rest of his competitors, right? Now, the one point that must be pointed out here is that Matheus Fernandes is only 21. Ceiling is high. He has a lot further to go, right? And he could become a better baller in the end. That's fantastic. However, we're not talking about bigger ceiling and better baller in the end. We're talking about who has made the best signings so far this summer. How can you even compare Matheus Fernandes with Tielemans? It's no comparison. He doesn't even come close. He doesn't even come close. Moving on. This is a good one. Tonali. People think Tonali. Do you think Tonali is better than Tielemans? On the eye test, I would say no. But you might have something different to say. Let's go to the stats. Here we go. Tielemans is 29. Tonali is 26. Look at the appearances. Tielemans has played more. 80 goals compared to 23. That's all his club career, by the way. And look at the assist and goal contributions. He doesn't even compare. He doesn't even compare. Now, a lot of you are going to go, oh, stats on this, important. So how do you decide who's better? Because, in my opinion, none of these guys on the list can dictate the tempo of a game, can control a game, can spray a pass. None of them can run a football game like Tielemans. For me, you might have a different opinion. So this is why we go to the stats. So from this, I would say Tonali ain't as good as he is. And the age difference isn't even that far. Tonali's 26, he's 29. Let's say they continue on the same trajectory right now. Do you see Tonali being a better player than Tielemans before he ends his career? I don't. Moving on. I mean, before we skip off the Tonali one, even if you look at international career, it's just nowhere close. He's just not on Tielemans' level at all. And the fact that people think he is and he's worth 100 and something million blows my mind. I don't get it. But anyway. And this is the one that sparked me to get mad, because Tielemans versus Bruno G, right? Similar in age, 29, 28. Look at the senior appearances. Tielemans has played more games. Look at the goals and assists. Tielemans is a far better player. It's not even comparable. Now, let's go down and look at what they've won in their careers, right? Tielemans has won the Belgian League twice, the Belgian Super Cup twice. He's won the FA Cup, and he's won the UEFA League. I'm not going to count the Community Shield because I know a lot of people don't take that seriously. But look at that CV alone. The only thing, Tielemans scored the winner in the FA Cup final, by the way. I don't know who can remember that. The winner in the FA Cup final. So he's won the FA Cup, Europa League, 2 Belgian titles, 2 Belgian Super Cups. He's won the Community Shield. The only thing Bruno G has won was a League Cup with Newcastle. And you guys are trying to compare. Like, for me, it's just crazy. it's not even close. So the fact that Arsenal want to get themselves completely mugged off and have Newcastle pull their pants down for 75 mil for a player that's not even anywhere close to Tielemans, feel free, they can do that. It doesn't affect me. Then let's go down to Tielemans versus Elliot Anderson. Tielemans is 29. Anderson is 23. Just look at the stats. They speak for themselves. They speak for themselves. Now, I must say that I actually rate Anderson. I think he's a good baller, and I think he's got such a high ceiling. By the time he finishes his career, he'll probably be a better player than Tielemans. But in this moment right now, I would much rather pay 35 million for Tielemans. Tielemans is in his prime. We can get another 3-4 solid years of creativity from this guy. Who knows what Elliot Anderson is going to do next season? He's had one good season. One good season. That's it. He's won nothing. He's won nothing yet. I don't understand how you can compare it. I have no idea. Anyway, this is a big one, right? Tielemans, and you know, I like Rice as a bowler, so I don't even like dragging him into this, but he's just caught astray for no reason. Tielemans versus Declan Rice. 29, Rice is 27. Look at the stats. Look at the stat. Do they even compare? Tielemans is a way better player. Always has been. Always will be. Always will be. Declan Rice can't progress play. He can't dictate a game. He mostly does back passes and set pieces. Now, like I said, I like the guy as a baller. He does a lot of work in the engine room. He does a lot of running. And as a 6, he's probably one of the best around at the minute. But I think the only reason Rice can even talk to Tielemans is because Rice has now won a Premier League title. Tielemans ain't done that. So fair play to him. Because of that Premier League title, he can now, people can now technically say he's better than Tielemans. In my opinion, there's still nah, but to each their own. I think these things all come down to opinions, right? And I think from a Manchester United perspective, especially when you listen to people like these guys, who are meant to be big in the Man United space, but never really have anything positive to say about the club, you have to look at the recruitment of Tielemans. Most people will sell it off as like it's a desperation signing. I don't think it's a desperation signing. I think this is a perfect Carrick signing. Now, when we talk about Carrick as a coach, most of these people will have you believe that Carrick is some sort of puppet. He doesn't have a mind of his own and he does what he's told. This, to me, is the perfect Carrick signing. And to demonstrate that, let me bring you back to 2005. 2005, right? When Roy Keane left Man United, that was all hatchet man. That was all hatchet man. And like so many other people, I also thought at the time, oh my God, what are we going to do? No Keane, we're finished. Like, we're finished. He was our general. He was our captain. You could see he pushed and drove that team to success. So when a player like that leaves, you think to yourself, what do we do? And like I said, he was all hatchet man, right? In 2006, Ferguson bought in Carrick, right? Carrick didn't try to replace Keane. Carrick looked at it and probably thought to himself, yeah, we don't need to do all of this running man down, kicking man down, and all of this aggressive stuff. Instead, Carrick said, I'm going to show you guys my superior football IQ and I'm going to intercept everything. No need for the tackles and kicking people down. And then we formed a different partnership between Carrick and Scholes that went on to flourish. Now, for those who like to make out like Carrick is just lucky and he doesn't know what he's doing, the guy is a Premier League legend. He's won 5 Premier League titles. He's won the Champions League and everything going. So when a man like that makes a signing and signs somebody like Tielemans, how can you look at it and think he doesn't know what he's doing? Carrick probably doesn't want a hatchet man in there. He doesn't want the kick you, the Declan Rice type that's just gonna run, chase people down like a madman. He wants actual technical ballers in his midfield, hence the signing of Tielemans. I look at that and think that's a perfect Carrick signing. A guy that's gonna redefine the midfield. We are gonna dominate so many games because of this guy from deep, and Bruno is up high. I'm so confident with this duo, right? But don't take the advice of people that just talk football and don't understand football at all, right? Even you can put myself in there and also these people, right? Let's listen to somebody who's actually a Premier League legend, a man that ran Chelsea's midfield for 11 years and won everything there is to win. Let's hear what he has to say about Tielemans.
Of those, which ones do you like?
Of all of those, it pains me to say the best one, I'll probably go for Youri Tielemans. Wow. How the fuck did you guys get him for what? 30 million?
35 million.
Oh my God, that's a fucking steal. How did you do that? I mean, I was watching him during the World Cup. I mean, just before the World Cup as well. Yes, he was injured and he came back as well. He came back into the team. For Aston Villa, started playing again. But during the World Cup, you can see that this is a player. This is a player. There's something. Obviously, we all know how Tielemans plays. He can play any area in that position. You know, in that midfield, he can play as a number 6, he can play as a number 8, number 10. And when you have a player that can play anywhere in that position, they can give you the variety to change the way you want to play. I think for me, Tielemans is that guy. You know, he gets into the box, he can score goals. He's very dangerous with set pieces. You know, he's very good on the ball. He doesn't give the ball away. The only one thing we can say about Tielemans, he's not the quickest, but he reads the game really, really well. He's very, very intelligent with the ball and without the ball. And for me, when I look at all these midfielders that has transferred to different clubs, I think for me, the best one, I'll probably say Youri Tielemans.
John Obi Mikel is a Premier League legend for Chelsea. He played 500 games for them. He won 2 Premier Leagues, the FA Cup 4 times, 2 League Cups. He won the Champions League, the Europa League, Community Shield. The list goes on. He even won AFCON with Nigeria, right? The guy is a legend for Chelsea. Now, I'm much more inclined to listen to legends of the game who has played the game, understand the game, and can look at another baller and say, hey, that is an amazing player. I'm more likely to listen to those people when they make comments on other players, as opposed to random people who are just trying to get a talking point, right? The fact that anyone can compare Tielemans with Bruno G is wild to me, because Bruno G doesn't even come close. He doesn't even come close. He couldn't shine Tielemans' boots for me. He cannot. This is the smartest piece of business Man United have done in a very long time. Very long time. And some of these people that are all screaming, oh, we need to spend money. We need to spend money. They're the first to turn around and say, oh, how did you get it wrong? How did you get it so wrong? When Man United actually do spend money, big money on players, and it doesn't work. The only difference this time is that you have a manager that is actually cool, calm, collected, and was a technical football genius himself. So when he's looking for players, he knows exactly what he's looking for. But some of you guys will have it that, oh, he has no control. He's just doing what he's told by the Glazers and by the sporting directors. That's not the case. Tielemans is a proper Carrick signing, and you guys are going to see when the season starts how we are going to dominate, right? Because we technically take Tielemans out of the team, right? At the time last year, in my opinion, Casemiro had lost his legs. Still technical and relying on his experience, but he had lost his legs. And the way we went to Arsenal's ground and just absolutely kicked the shit out of them because of Carrick's style of play and how he perceives the game. He gets the midfield closer together so that then we can have triangles and play around almost any team. We've become a much more technical outfit. It's just taken everybody else so long to see it. So it's disrespectful when a signing like Tielemans comes in and people are going, oh, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's a release clause signing that nobody else wanted. It is an absolute masterstroke. It's an absolute masterstroke. And I am so confident after I saw that signing that we are going to have a strong season. I'm so confident. I don't see how we don't either. We have to be top two. Have to be. Top two, top three. We're going to have a strong season. I keep saying we're going to win it, and I believe that. But just for you guys out there, I'm trying to soften it. Top three. Maybe that tickles you a bit more. The only ballers in this league that I think can say anything or step a foot to Tielemans are Rodri, Bruno Fernandes, De Bruyne's gone. Who else is there? There's nobody else. He's more experienced than everybody else. His stats as a midfielder stack up way better than any other person you can put in this list. Who else can you put in this list in the Premier League right now that will challenge him? Nobody. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Listen, I am so confident. So confident that we're going to do well that I've put money on it. Yeah? I've put money on us winning the league. Right? I will reveal to you how much money shortly, but I've put money on us winning the league. That's how confident I am. And I'm going to stream every single game by game, as we make the charge towards winning the league. I don't even know how to stream yet, but I'm going to look into it. I'm going to figure it out. And I'm going to be streaming these games. All right. By the way, thank you for the 250 subscribers. Thank you for supporting the channel. I know we're still small. We're still growing. But I appreciate everyone. I appreciate all the comments and everything. Let's keep it going. Listen. Don't listen to the naysayers. Yeah. We are going to win it. We're going to win it. Let's go.